Hey, welcome back to Messy Buns, Messier Lives. And I'm your host, Lex. And today I'm just going to be continuing where I left off from for my MLM Horror Stories series. So yesterday was part 2 of my story. So I kind of went over why I started, how it started, like my journey and all of those things. And then today I'm going to kind of pick back up where I left off of. And I have a lot to go through. I'd like to read something to you. Okay. All right. Great. So I'm sure if you're a content creator or just an influencer or whatever, you know what the Boards app is. And if you don't, the Boards app is basically like a keyboard extension, and it has like a bunch of individualized folders for things that like like everybody in like a group can all use the same thing, copy and paste, like stuff like that. Well, there's one folder and it's the reach out folder. Okay. I'm going to come back to why this is funny. About a month. Okay, this took me a while to find this in my DM. So about a month after I joined Money, which again was May 2023, and I got the following DM. Okay, and it went like this. Look, I know potential when I see it. You're already trying to monetize your social media. Work with me. Do what I'm doing. You'd make bank. You would absolutely, without a doubt, crush this. Okay, here's 2 things with that. One, obviously it was copied and pasted. 2, clearly she didn't look at my profile, my bio, anything about me. She just saw it, went to DM me, because at that point, I was already with Money. I was already monetizing my social media the same way she was. She was literally a market partner with Money, DMing, cold messaging another Money market partner. How embarrassing. Right? Okay. So now let's get back to the why Boards is so like funny. So I'm going back in, right? And I'm looking at a lot of the board stuff. These are reach outs that like my upline and like her upline or like the top leaders would tell us to send. And these were like my top 5, like on the cringe-o-meter, like rating like 8 out of 10. Okay. Here's one. Hi, babe. This might be random and I'm not sure if it's something you'd even be interested in, but and then you're supposed to compliment them. For example, a hustler, my girl, so good on social media. So I had to ask. I know you had mentioned that you were enter pain point. And again, don't even know if it's your vibe, but I think because of your compliment, you could really be successful at this and it could help solve another pain point. Would you be open to hearing more? Okay. That's a cold message, right? Okay. Then there's another one. And the reason why I'm sharing these top 5 is because I've been collabing with a lot of girls that are not in Money anymore and that are still in Money. And we were going over the most used copy paste script DMs, like cold message reach outs. And we all have gotten the same ones before and sent the same ones. So this is another one. Your hair is gorgeous, babe. I work with a beauty company that promotes hair and skin products. I'm the recruiting director and look for ladies on social media who I think would be great at representing our brand. If making some extra money for sharing your beauty products sounds up your alley, I'd love to chat. Okay. Wow. Now these 2 just came to me like not even an hour ago. Mommy, that's the F word. I'll be real. So, all right. Here is ones that 1, they're lying, and 2, it makes you feel this sense of pressure. Okay. So this is in the category of the cold messages titled follow up after sending an opportunity call, reach out. And it goes, hey sis, did you finish the video? I'm running a special until midnight for our business packs. So I wanted to make sure we locked in your spot if you think it's something you want to give a shot. Remember, you have a 30-day money back guarantee if you're not completely sold. There's part one. Here's part two. Hi, babe, did that link work for you? I just had to resend it to another girl, so I wanted to make sure before the sale ends tonight. No, the links don't expire. They never expire. You just got ghosted, and now you're following up because there were crickets, and now you're making them feel pressure, and you're lying and making them feel pressure. See what I'm saying? The last one, this is just them, aka us, acting stupid, right? Acting dumb. How is monetizing your social media going? I noticed your hair reel and had to let you know it's amazing. So I wanted to see how it was going because you're already doing what I'm doing. Or you DM them and say, hey, are you a market partner? Okay. These are the types of things in this culture that you were told to send, and copy paste, again, the chick, the one I was telling you about in the beginning, the one who was a Mon 8 rep herself, sending another Mon 8 rep, like a scripted, how embarrassing, right? Like, that's how little, they care about, who they're reaching out to. And it took me a really long time to understand that it's not that people didn't want to buy from me or, support me because I wasn't good at selling, because I did put out very educational content, right? What I learned and realized is that the reason people weren't buying from me is because they don't want to support somebody who is, kind of preying on vulnerable women. Does that make sense? Because that made sense to me. That I get that. I completely get that now. While we're on the topic of group chats, in the group chats, right? So my team had one, then my upline had one, and then there was a top leader chat. So every time you hit a milestone, you would drop an emoji, and the emoji meant something. Everybody knew what it meant, right? So the more times an emoji got dropped in a chat, and let's say for example, I'm sitting there and I haven't dropped an emoji in a couple of days, but Nancy Drew just dropped 7,000 triangles. So now we know she just literally built my neighborhood, right? And it makes people who are not dropping emojis feel a sense of pressure, overwhelming, crippling anxiety, and just a lack of confidence and belief in themselves. That is not fair, right? But then other people on the other side will say, yeah, well, we drop the emojis because we want to show that it is possible. Okay, well then I will just fake drop emojis then all day. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. And you were, if you weren't on the Zoom calls, you weren't a leader. You weren't winning at this business. And then I'm trying to stay in the group chats for right now. If you ask something to anybody, for example, I'm going to give you a good one. So you're in a group chat, right? Let's just say your upline just brought on a new partner. So now there's somebody new in the chat. If you say something out of line, that might give that person a second to be oh no, that's weird. That's drama. That's, ooh, I don't like how she's talking to her or whatever. You were ghosted, you were not answered, you were removed from the chat, or you were taken to another chat and told, don't put that in, don't ask those questions. If, there's new people there, we don't want to scare them. Scare them, bitch, please. Listen, as soon as you DM somebody anything about money, or that you look at your profile, if they're smart enough to look that you're with money, listen, market partners, right? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to sell you on this before you go to Google and type in money. Because as soon as you do that, boom, smack in the face. You're just hit with lawsuit claims. Stewart with Macmillan lawsuit, ingredient issues, ingredient changes, formula changes, compensation plan changes, claims of hair loss, claims of infertility, all of these things. So now you're down a rabbit hole of just pure negativity stuff, right? So that's what we try to stop you from. So we try to hurry up and sell you really quickly before you do that, before you do your own research, right? That was the goal there. Not good. Not good. This is not like the right way. This is not the right method to run a business, right? And now that I'm out of money, I have customers that are like, I can't cancel my flagship. Customer service won't help me, blah, blah, blah. So come to find out, you can't cancel your flagship until you've had 3 flagships go through. So me not even being actively in money, I have clients still getting their credit cards charged for flagships that they cannot cancel, and I can't get customer service to cancel them. Make that make sense. Like, how many cases like do I have open at this point? I don't know. 30? No exaggeration. Like, holy shit. Like, it absolutely insane. Hold 1 second. And, when I look back now, and even then, like when I started really stop like drinking the Kool-Aid, that just made me just crazy. I realized a lot of the things that they were doing, like the tactics that they were using, like to try to get you to like work harder would be like, if you do this, like then you get to be in the leader chat. Like, yeah, then you get to be with all of us girls. And you'd be like, damn, I want to do that. Like, I'm already in it. Like, let's go. And then they'll be like, like they won't notice you. Like if you're not building their like lifestyle quick enough for them, or if you're not like close to like you being the one getting them up to like get the car rank or getting them up to get the founder shares, they don't care. They don't care about you or your questions or your problems until you're on their visual back office leaderboard, coming in hot and heavy with high PV, which is personal volume, high DV, downline volume, and GV group volume, rank, if you're ranking up, right? Then you'll get like shouted out, right? And they have a way of, making it seem like doing all of this is so damn easy. But here's something that they don't talk about a lot. A lot of these women who have made, or claim to have made like millions of dollars, like in just commissions, right? They started this during COVID. I would probably be insanely wealthy if I started this in COVID too. So say that, you know what I mean? Like say that is how you got your success, or that's where it started, or that's when you really started making money, because that's the truth. COVID times were different times and nobody could leave the house. So selling anything on social media that everybody was on all day long because there was nothing else to do. Duh. That's why you made that money. You know what I'm saying? So, but they never say that. They will just continue to make you feel like less and less of a hard worker, or that your mindset is just not strong enough. It's not there. You're lazy. You don't follow through. You're not working hard enough. You're not using your time wisely. You're not having 5 rolling conversations a day, right? Remember, all the people that got rich during COVID and stuff like that, ask them where their annual salary is at now. Because all of the people that I'm seeing on the leaderboards now in the US, Australia, Canada, all different names. I have no idea who they are. I haven't seen anybody from the East Coast, that's for sure. Why? They have to be doing something else to be making money, because there is no way that money is covering their lifestyle. They have a sale every day. Every day there's a sale. Okay. So that means when somebody purchases something off of you and it's during a sale, your commission you're stripped. You're getting like a $3, you're getting like 3% commission off of something. So that's how they get to, that's the control again. You know, it's all about control, controlling how you think, how you act, how you talk, right? And let's get on the positive side. I don't have much positive things to say, but I will say like two. I did learn how to, you know, juggle things. I learned how to communicate in a different way. And I think it's because there were so many different women in this business. And especially when I went to Florida on the trip to Monations with like my team and met everybody else in person that I built relationships with, like strictly like over the phone and stuff the past year and a half or so. That's, you know, you meet these people and you could feel it. Like you just feel that that it's just, it's just not, it's not right. It would be really amazing if there was somebody like at the tippy top who was just truthful, right? And I don't think that that's going to happen because now all of the top leaders, that, first of all, where are they? Second of all, why are you all changing your names? What is that about? Third, why are you discontinuing like so many products? Why? Is it because the whole anti MLM like culture is actually trending and it's a hot topic right now? Because people are getting scammed, they're getting screwed, they're getting everything taken away from them financially, mentally, physically. Uh, like, don't even like get me started down that, you know? I this was is such a hard decision for me to come on here and talk about and get vulnerable and stuff, but I do like to speak up and I want to make one thing very like abundantly clear. I am not anti MLM. I do not hate women in MLMs at all. Okay. One MLM does not equal like another. And I'm going to get into what I mean by that. But what I am anti is the Monate culture. I am anti the fact that I still don't have a reason for not getting paid. I am anti the fact that I was guaranteed in verbally and written that I'd be getting 2% founder shares for the rest of my damn life. I am anti the bully. I am anti the cult of it and the control and this perception that everybody else is better, and if you're not doing what they're doing or what they're telling you to do, like you're not good enough. Get out of here. Oh, tell me something. Okay. All right. I'll be right up. Right up. They love when they see like the camera. Now I completely lost my train of thought. So again, not anti MLM because what I want to get into next, and I'm not going to continue it right now because this is already long. I'm just going to separate this into part 4. So tomorrow I'll drop it, and tomorrow I will focus on the fact that I am with currently an MLM. I am with pharmacy. Okay. I have reasons. I've done my research. I am not, you know, innocent, wide-eyed, vulnerable anymore. And I also handle it differently. And it was a very easy decision to make because there are no sales, 50% commission, never had any problems. If you Google pharmacy, nothing, empty. Even Chat GPT's like, what do you want to know? Pharmacy's fine. Inexpensive products, they're good. Scan those on the Yuga app. Those are good quality. And pharmacy didn't pay you get to do that either. That's just the way it is. And I mean, so we will get into that because I'm sure in your head you're like, Lex, you're doing like a lot of anti MLM stuff, but you're with one. That's correct. Like I am. But I want to get deep down into that because that's like a vulnerable thing. And I really, really, really want to deeply express the why, what, when, how, for what reason, etc. Like I really want to go into it. But so yes, again, not anti MLM. I am a girl's girl. And speaking of girls, the last thing I will say is, unfortunately, when you're in this business and then you leave this business, so do the relationships that you make. I have lost several friends because of money, either because I stopped money and wasn't helping anymore or contributing or a part of the team or being, um, you know, a team person, team player. I have lost them because of me doing stuff like this. But listen, I have been like thanked. I have gotten positive feedback about me opening up, because if I don't speak, then somebody else will, but that won't be my story. You know what I mean? And that won't be like my friend's story and like the things that I want to get into. Because there is no hate here. There is no there is no aggression. There is no nothing. These are just stone cold facts that are just backed by my personal experience, you know? And I just want to make sure that's abundantly clear. And I cannot wait to fill you guys in on why I am with pharmacy. But doing this, I also will get back to my, regular, podcast that I do that has to do with all the mom life and the funny as fuck commentaries and all of that, like the shits and giggles. But I've had people get mic'd up. I'm having some issues trying to put the podcast together because of they're mic'd up somewhere else and the audio. So that might take a bit, but those are still coming. So I just need some tech help on the podcast side because I'm new at this, obviously. But listen, if you don't start, even if you're new, if you're bad at it, then you're never going to start. So at least I started, and I like to talk and I have a lot to say. And I think people like to listen to that. And I think that they like to hear that they're not alone. Because again, I have had so many people say, oh my God, that happened to me too. Oh my God, oh my God. And I'm not trying to scare people out of not joining Money. Again, just do your research, if that's how you're going to make money, make money. I just don't think the whole, don't get a job, don't get a 9 to 5 corporate job or whatever, they're trying to normalize that now. And I don't think that that's fair. There are plenty of mom and women, that are very successful working a 9 to 5, maybe doing something like this for extra cash on the side and stuff like that. But certainly not like what I did, putting myself in piles and piles of debt. It did neglecting my children, putting other things on the back burner so I could make stupid content and stupid lip gloss reels that did nothing for me. I might as well have just done faceless marketing at that point, So that is my spiel. I love all of your submissions coming in, and I'm going through them slowly and swiftly. So I can't wait to share those. And so just stay tuned for part 4. And I hope you enjoy this. Send this to somebody who is an MLM person, or maybe they're not, or maybe they're thinking about joining. Maybe they're stuck. Maybe they don't know how to get out. Maybe they're really drunk on the Kool-Aid and, they need help, right? Send it to them. Share it to them. Okay? But yeah, that is it. All right. Lex out.